1977. Stan Lee had sold the rights to CBS to make a Spider-Man TV show, and the pilot would officially be airing. The show would be ran by Daniel R. Goodman, whose only credits are this TV show, and it would star Nicholas Hammond as Peter Parker Spider-Man. Now, the pilot to this TV show is what we'll be talking about today, and it is a pilot that has a lot of weird classification behind it, making it kind of multiple things. It is the pilot to the TV show The Amazing Spider-Man from the 1970s, but rather a TV movie that is serving as a pilot episode. Directed by E.W. Swackhammer, as well as being aired on CBS as a TV movie, the movie was also released in theaters over in Europe in 1977 upon initial release, and then it was also released again in the UK with paired with a movie called Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger, and the movie ended up becoming the highest performing program on CBS in 1977 and made $9 million at the box office. Now, the commercial success of this iteration of Spider-Man is undeniable, but what exactly is the quality of this one? And well, after watching it, it certainly is 1970 Spider-Man.
I don't feel so good.
So the first thing I want to do is I want to take a look at the suit here, and I'm not trying to knock a low-budget, like, 1970s TV show of Spider-Man, but my god, look at those eyes! Now, the full body itself actually doesn't look that bad. The rest of the suit, the emblem is a bit weird, but it's 70s camp. But as a whole, the suit's not terrible, but man, those eyes are what I would see in my nightmares. Now, there are also some really hilarious green screens in here too when he's climbing his own house to test the wall climbing powers that he gets after the spider bite. What if someone drives by? What's Peter's logistics here? But the green screen on this one is certainly something, and I would think Neil Breen probably watched this and took inspiration. Again, I shouldn't be bashing a 1970s Spider-Man TV show for its visuals, but that scene is definitely one that can't not make me laugh. Now, I will say, I honestly think there are some moments where the action in this one is kind of cool, where we get some first-person web-slinging shots that we did see from previews of Spider-Man Brand New Day, so this traces back to 1977, these first-person web-slinging, which I thought were actually pretty decent moments. And then there's other moments in here as well where, well, this. Now, instead of nitpicking a bunch of visual things, action moments, or styling, given that it is a 70s TV show on CBS about Spider-Man and everything, I do want to talk about the story here and how well it encapsulates the character and the vibe of Spider-Man comics in this time period, and I'll be honest, I think it does a decent job resembling this stuff, like being real here. I think it's very true to how those early 60s Spider-Man comics did feel with a lot of the campiness and then Peter's cheesy awkwardness from that era. And then some story details are obviously there with Peter still getting pictures of Spider-Man, but not the same J. Jonah Jameson we all know from Raimi's trilogy.
Are you serious?
This J. Jonah is a little more just anger instead of the quick-witted bite that J.K. Simmons one does. They're still angry at him, but different kinds of it.
Fine, never mind. We've got enough pictures of the mayor to wallpaper the building. Look, aren't you playing hooky? Thanks for coming in.
Now, there are some differences, though, because of the amount of things that they were capable of doing, where with the TV show, they can't really bring in all of the Green Goblin, Doc Ock, all of that stuff for TV, so they had to kind of work around making their own villains for this, and the villain of this one is Guru, a guy who mind controls people into suicide for money, which is an extremely dark plotline put in an extremely goofy 70s TV show. Now, when you have a villain plotline that is a bit serious like that one, a little bit more than just a bit serious with that, how does the actual tone of the show really push through with there? And I do think it is a lot more serious than the 60s Batman TV show, but I do think the goofiness in this one is 100% there, but it's more of the 70s over-dramatization and just like over-emphasis on a bunch of things, goofiness, than a bunch of slapstick stuff from the 60s Batman. Now, a new detail in here as well is the love interest, whose name is Judy Tyler, created specifically for this TV show and isn't in the comics at all. So no Mary Jane, no Gwen Stacy, no Felicia Hardy, no love interest like that. It is Judy Tyler, who is also a reporter at the Daily Bugle with Peter, and her entanglement in the story is really how the catalyst to Peter taking on this really goes through, as Guru is like, I want Judy's dad, and we're gonna go through that way, and that's how Peter kind of gets entangled in everything, and where we kind of push through in this pilot episode. Now, as somebody who loves 70s campiness and loves Spider-Man at the same time, I mean, my Letterboxd handle is SpiderNico6. You should definitely go follow that. And subscribe to this channel, by the way. You should totally subscribe as well. I did have a lot of fun watching this. I didn't think it was good, but I did have a fun time, because I have said my things that I don't think this is well made or anything, but it's not a poor watch. But I don't think that was good, and neither did Stan Lee. Stan Lee actually relentlessly hated this TV movie and the show that would follow, to the point where he regretted giving the rights away for this thing, where he said, quote, "Very often people will take a novel, let's say, bring it to the screen, and they will leave out the one element, the one quality that made the novel a bestseller, and I felt people who did the live action series left out the very elements that made the comic book popular. They left out the humor, they left out the human interest and personality, and playing up characterizations and personal problems." He also labeled this thing as very juvenile and humorless, which, with all of the jokes they do throw around, it's not a thing that you want to hear from the creator of the character. For the fun that I did have watching it and thinking how they did get some things right in the encapsulation of everything and some of the early campiness of those comics, I do agree with what Stan Lee said. I do think there were parts of it that they definitely missed the human condition of all of that and Spider-Man. And we didn't know what actually happened to this TV show after we got that pilot TV movie episode, and it only lasted for 2 years after this pilot, but only totaled 13 episodes in 2 years. The episodes were 40 minutes each, just besides this one being a 90-minute TV movie, and none of this being canceled or anything was because of bad performance. It was more of the image that CBS wanted to have at that time, because they were concerned over their image of not wanting to be the superhero network, because at the same time, CBS was also running The Incredible Hulk and Wonder Woman, which were 2 wildly successful TV shows, and they didn't want to be labeled the same way that the CW kind of is now, where they had the Flash, Supergirl, Arrow, the whole like Arrowverse thing going on, and all these things. They didn't want to be the CW of the 1970s, so they canceled Spider-Man to basically protect their image in that way. Now, they were also inconsistent in broadcasting the episodes as a whole, with long gaps between them, and Stan Lee was very unsurprised by the quick end because of the way production was going, the way broadcasting was going, and just what his own review would have been of this TV show.
I mean, if we keeping a buck right now, we ass.
Now, despite 13 episodes, 2 more movies came out of this series, where we had Spider-Man Strikes Back happening in 1978, which is just 2 episodes of the Deadly Dust storyline combined, where a guy wants to use an atomic bomb on the World Trade Center. That one aged well.
Robin Williams on 9/11.
And then there is Spider-Man The Dragon's Challenge, releasing in 1981, 2 years after the show ended, where this one was released in theaters only in Europe, combining 2 episodes of the Chinese web storyline, where Spidey goes to China to help an official accused of World War II treachery. I don't know, this show is weird. Just like Stan Lee, I am not surprised this thing didn't really last very long, but if you are a diehard Spider-Man fan, I would at least check out the first TV movie and pilot of this thing just to kind of see what Spider-Man was in the 70s, but yeah, this is certainly a thing, but Nicholas Hammond, we should probably get him in Beyond the Spider-Verse. I think that would be a really fun cameo. So thank you all for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe for more content like this. We do some movie reviews, some rankings, top 10s, a bunch of new stuff, some video essays that I'm trying to get in here. Trying to upgrade the content a bit from just Netflix slop reviews. So thank you all for watching again. Hope you enjoyed it, and tune in next time.